Hi Mo, how's it going?
I am good.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited for your talk for Fresh Voices about the 11th house, the place of acquisition. But first, tell us a little bit more about you and your practice.
So a lot of my practice, I'm still trying to characterize my practice well because I'm starting out, coming from a traditional background, mostly based on, Chris Brennan's Hellenistic astrology teachings, as well as, some of Ben Dyke's translations of different Persian and Arabic astrologers. But I'm hoping to, I guess, integrate different kinds of traditional astrology into something that is useful for people in the modern era. And that's kind of what I hope to do with this lecture that I'm giving. So, just to kind of segue into that, I think a lot of people don't really understand the 11th house as a concept, but also in particular, I'm getting really interested in houses relative to the lot of fortune.
Hmm.
And the 11th house from fortune is really interesting in particular because it can describe, a sort of luck that people have and working with the ruler of that, particular sign slash house can be really helpful from a transits perspective, but also from like a electional perspective. And so
Hmm.
I think what I hope to do with this lecture is kind of clue people into, some of the non-angular or non-angle things that they could be interested in when working with the chart, but also like getting more comfortable with the idea that planets play multiple roles in your chart. Like I know people are like, okay, I can get the concept that, say Mercury and Venus rule multiple houses, but they're not just ruling multiple houses, sometimes they rule a lot so that they're really important. Or like they rule a house from fortune, which makes them important for certain things. And so, um, or even they're like, the almutin of your figure or something. So it's like, okay, we got to develop a more intimate relationship with the planets in our chart. And I think appreciating more of the roles that different planets can play by looking at these other houses besides the angles, as well as angles from fortune, can explain why certain transits by and to planets are bringing about things you wouldn't expect. So,
Wow. I didn't even know I was going to go that deep. I'm so excited.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the 11th house is one of those houses that is slept on and also that people don't completely understand. And it is like the joy of Jupiter. It is this like really special place in the chart. So
Mhm.
I think that people are going to get a lot out of this, especially if you have like the sun or the moon in the 11th house or your chart ruler there too.
Mhm.
It's a really I'm really excited because yeah, there's not a ton of content out there about the 11th house, and it is, yeah, like you said, this very special place. I didn't know that about, looking at the 11th sign from fortune.
Mhm.
That's really cool. It's like making my brain think about a lot of things, pinging a lot of
Yeah.
things in my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited for your talk. I think this is going to be really illuminating for a lot of people. And yeah, I love that you do sort of like focus on bridging the gaps between like all of the different types of traditional astrology, and you're not just
Mhm.
Hellenistic. You are almost like a little bit you kind of lean medieval, right?
Yeah, a little bit because my approach to solar returns is actually pretty medieval. Like I draw on some work that Abu Mashar or even Saul were doing. Um,
Cool.
though I mean I don't agree with some of their rules. I've found that the medievals had something right. Like for example, with perfections, I find that the Hellenistic version focuses a lot on just the sign of the year, right? Which makes sense, but the medieval astrologers were actually focusing on all the signs that are angular to the sign of the year.
Hmm.
So, transits, say you're in like a Taurus year, all the fixed signs would be really important for you.
Hmm.
And I think like integrating that with, my understanding of perfections was nice. But I also feel like the medievals were wrong in ignoring, eclipses and lunations as, the transits of the year if you're having, like Cancer and Leo perfections. So I
Yeah.
found that, integrating those rules into my readings of solar returns has been very, very enlightening. So, yeah.
Amazing. Oh, I need to get a solar return reading from you.
I mean, which is great because I just I just reopened. So
Oh,
like,
good. Okay. If you're hearing
yeah.
this, check out Mo's new offerings. You do written reports, right?
I do written reports for now, but I'm hoping that, late in 2021 or like mid 2021, I can like switch to, verbal.
Hell yeah. I know where the eclipses are hitting you, so Mo and I have the same exact ascendant degree. So, yeah, we get similar transits. Awesome. Well, we will talk to you soon. Your talk is December 19th, the day
Mhm.
of the Great Conjunction. It's called The Place of Acquisition, right?
Yeah.
And I believe we're doing it at 1 p.m. Pacific for Eastern, right? Or
Ooh,
no,
my
2 p.m. 2
yeah,
p.m.
2 p.m.
Pacific.
Yeah.
Sorry, so much stuff to keep in my brain. 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's not the day that Jupiter and Saturn form the exact conjunction, but it's the day that Jupiter enters Aquarius, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.